So as we continue to look at the Western battlefront in the Civil War, the final goal the Union needs to take is to capture the Confederate stronghold of Vicksburg, Mississippi. The Union had already captured New Orleans when Admiral David Farragut, sailed his boats with camouflage past the forts to New Orleans, then up the river to take Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Natchez, Mississippi. General Grant was sweeping down through Mississippi this way, and they were converging on Vicksburg, Mississippi. Admiral Farragut demanded that Vicksburg surrender. The general at Vicksburg refused, told him to make him surrender. The Confederates were confident of Vicksburg because they had the high ground with high cliffs and natural protections. Admiral Farragut failed to be able to capture the town. His cannons could not do enough damage to make them surrender, so it will be up to General Grant to figure out how to get Vicksburg to surrender or to capture it. What Grant will do is, instead of coming straight down the river and attacking where the Confederates expect through swamps, he decides to take a turn into Louisiana, go west for a while, then come back across the river south of Vicksburg. He will cross the river with the help of Union gunboats, and then he will invade inland in the Mississippi, taking Jackson, the capital, and then return to Vicksburg to attack from the east. It was a surprise attack, a surprise way of doing things, and it kept the Confederates off guard. The reason Vicksburg is so hard to capture is because of its high ground and very high cliffs, and there's only a few ways to get into the city. There are 30,000 Confederates ready to defend the city and defend it to the death. The natural protection made it tough to capture. Grant was unable to, after several attempts, Grant was unable to fight his way into the city. His men got into the city for brief periods of time, but were driven out. Eventually, after several different attempts, Grant will surround the city and then slowly starve the Confederates out in a siege. He bombarded them with cannon fire and cut off all their supplies until they surrendered. After over 2 months, after 2 months of siege, on July 4th, the Confederates finally surrendered. And here's some of the fighting up the hills near Vicksburg. The Union also used some tunnels. They would tunnel under the Confederates, set off explosions, and then when the ground literally collapsed beneath the Confederate feet, the Union would then charge in to attack. Even with these creative ideas, they still were unable to capture Vicksburg without a siege. Here's the siege. You can see the surrounding and how they surrounded Vicksburg and made them give up. So Vicksburg was a massive Union victory, and it gives them control of the entire Mississippi River Valley. Another part of the war effort that was really pure genius by President Lincoln was the idea of total war. Lincoln realized that an entire nation can be the country's way to make war. Originally, people thought that just armies fought in war, but Lincoln saw beyond this. He saw that all people could contribute, and that all the United States citizens could contribute in the fight against the Confederates by making weapons, by improving transportation, by improving technology, by volunteering for the military, by conserving food and other resources. This type of all-out war where even the citizens are involved is called total war. Also, Union commanders also used total war in a different sense, as they would destroy telegraph lines, railroad lines, important buildings and factories in the South when they were fighting, to cripple the Confederates' ability to make war. So total war is a new type of fighting, and Lincoln used it very, very effectively.